855, flight present heading, climb to flight level 190. Expect further clearance in about 2530 miles.
Flight present heading, climb to flight level 190, rec 6855.
Hello, it's Fiona.
Hello, it's the captain. Just to let you know we are available again.
Speedbird 15 Heavy. Contact Melbourne Centre 126.0.
Center on 126.0. Speedbird 15 Heavy. Have a good day. Melbourne Center, Speedbird 15 Heavy. Flight level 410.
Speedbird 15 Heavy. Melbourne Centre. Identified.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 1035. Good day, flight level 370.
Velocity 1035. Melbourne Centre. Identified. Rec 6464, turn right, heading 260, climb to flight level 150.
Turn right, heading 260, climb to flight level 150, rec 6464.
Qantas 920, contact Melbourne Centre 133.8.
Contact Melbourne Centre 133.8, Qantas 920, bye-bye.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, Melbourne Centre. Amendment to your route advised ready to copy. Speedbird 15 Heavy, expect Rivet 4, runway 16 right. Speedbird 15 Heavy, verify instruction.
Expect Rivet 4, runway 16 right, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, contact Melbourne Centre 119.5.
Center on 119.5, Speedbird 15 Heavy. Have a good day. Melbourne Center, Speedbird 15 Heavy, flight level 410.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, Melbourne Centre, identified. Speedbird 15 Heavy, Rivet 4, runway 16 right. Report ready for descent.
Rivet 4, runway 16 right, ready for descent, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, descend to flight level 120.
Descend to flight level 120, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Velocity 321, contact Melbourne Centre 126.0, bye-bye. Centre on 126.0, velocity 321. Melbourne Centre, Q-Link 432, good day, flight level 121. Q-Link 432, Melbourne Centre, identified, climb to flight level 170. Climb to flight level 170, Q-Link 432. Rec 6768, contact Melbourne Centre 133.15.
Centre on 133.15, Rec 6768.
Hello again from the flight deck. We are starting our descent, and I will shortly turn on the seatbelt sign. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for flying with us today, and I hope to see you again in the near future.
Velocity 1687, contact Melbourne Centre 129.8. Contact Melbourne Centre 129.8, velocity 1687, bye-bye.
Melbourne Centre, Qantas 612, flight level 370.
Qantas 612, Melbourne Centre, radar contact. X-ray Delta Lima, flight present heading, Climb to flight level 120.
Flight present heading. Climb to flight level 120. X-ray Delta Lima.
X-ray Delta Lima, Melbourne Centre. Expect Aaron 1, runway 07.
Expect Aaron 1, runway 07. X-ray Delta Lima.
Melbourne Centre, Rec 6464, 300 feet.
Rec 6464, Melbourne Centre, identified. X-ray Delta Lima, cleared direct Aaron. Resume own navigation.
Roger. Heading direct Aaron, then resume own navigation. X-ray Delta Lima. Thanks.
X-ray Delta Lima QNH1020. Expect the RNAV Yankee runway 07 with the roller transition.
QNH1020. Expect the RNAV Yankee runway 07 with the roller transition. X-ray Delta Lima.
Speedbird 15 Heavy. Contact Melbourne Centre 129.8. Bye-bye.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, Melbourne Centre, identified.
Melbourne Centre, Q-Link 432. Good day. Flight level 117.
Q-Link 432, Melbourne Centre, identified.
The captain has now turned on the fasten seatbelt sign in preparation for our arrival. Please return to your seat. Put your seat back in the upright position and fasten your seatbelt. Please ensure your baggage is stowed safely including laptops. Please help us by checking your seat area for any trash and handing it to a member of the crew. Please note the toilets are no longer in service. Cabin secure.
Velocity 1687. Climb to flight level 390.
Climb to flight level 390, velocity 1687.
Speedbird 15 Heavy. Descend to 9,000 feet. QNH1017. Negative. QNH1017.
Descend to 9,000 feet. QNH1017. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Melbourne Centre, Rex 43, through flight level 160 for flight level 190.
Rex 43, Melbourne Centre, identified. Climb to flight level 380.
Climb to flight level 380, Rex 43.
Speedbird 15 Heavy. Contact Sydney approach 124.4.
Contact Sydney approach 124.4. Speedbird 15 Heavy. Sydney approach, Speedbird 15 Heavy. Good day, 9,800 feet. We have Tango on board.
Speedbird 15 Heavy Sydney approach. QN H1017, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right.
QN H1017, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, descend to 6,000 feet.
Descend to 6,000 feet. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Sydney approach, Rex 325. Good day, 9,700 feet with the numbers. Speedbird 15 Heavy, leave Boogie heading 350, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right.
Leave Boogie heading 350. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, turn left, heading 355, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 355. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Rex 325 Sydney approach, QN H1017, expect the ILS runway 16 right. QN H1017, expect the ILS runway 16 right, Rex 325.
We will be dimming the cabin lights. Please use the button in your seat area if you require additional light.
5,000 feet.
Thank you.
Descend to 5,000 feet, Rex 325. 325, descend to 3,000 feet. Descend to 3,000 feet, Rex 325. Speedbird 15 heavy, turn left, heading 325.
Turn left, heading 325, Speedbird 15 heavy.
Air Nauru 920, contact Sydney Tower 120.5, bye-bye.
Contact Tower 120.5, Air Nauru 920, have a good day.
Speedbird 15 heavy, descend to 5,000 feet.
Descend to 5,000 feet, Speedbird 15 heavy.
Speedbird 15 heavy, turn right, heading 045, descend to 4,000 feet.
Turn right, heading 045, descend to 4,000 feet, Speedbird 15 heavy.
Rex 325, cleared direct Erden, cross Erden at or above 3,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right. Cleared direct Erden, cross Erden at or above 3,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right, Rex 325. Sydney approach, Q-Link 432. Good day. Flight level 157, we have Tango. Q-Link 432 Sydney approach, QN H1017, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right. QN H1017, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 16 right, Q-Link 432. Speedbird 15 heavy, 5 miles from Erden, turn right, heading 145, maintain 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway 16 right.
Turn right, heading 145, 3,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway 16 right, Speedbird 15 heavy.
Q-Link 432, turn left, heading 045, descend to 6,000 feet, QN H1017, vectors for the approach. Turn left, heading 045, descend to 6,000 feet, QN H1017, Q-Link 432. Rex 325, contact Sydney Tower 120.5, have a good day. Contact Tower 120.5, Rex 325. 120.5. Speedbird 15 Heavy, Sydney Tower, continue.
Wilco, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, wind 255 at 12, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Runway 16 right, cleared to land. Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, exit right at Alpha 4.
Exit right at Alpha 4, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
As we taxi to the terminal, we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelts fastened. Please keep them fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. You may now make and receive calls as well as use data services. Please ensure you have all your personal belongings with you before leaving the aircraft. Take care when opening the overhead compartments, as items may have moved and could fall out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and his crew, we thank you for flying with British Airways. It has been a pleasure looking after you today, and we look forward to welcoming you back on board in the near future. If you need any assistance after leaving the aircraft, our ground team will be happy to help. Thank you.
Q-Link 453 at ramp 66, request pushback.
Q-Link 453, Sydney ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Q-Link 453.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, waiting to cross 07.
Speedbird 15 Heavy, cross runway 07 at Alpha. Continue taxi via Alpha, Golf.
Cross runway 07 at Alpha. Continue taxi via Alpha, Golf, Speedbird 15 Heavy.
Q-Link 453, taxi for departure.
Q-Link 453, runway 16 right taxi via Bravo 2.
Runway 16 right taxi via Bravo 2, Q-Link 453.
Q-Link 453. Contact Sydney Tower 120.5.
Over to Tower 120.5, Q-Link 453.
Doors to manual and cross-check. The door is now open and you can now disembark the aircraft. Once again, thank you for flying with British Airways.